Hello everybody, thank you to you, and welcome back to Let's Play Tomb Raider Anniversary. In the previous episode, we got the second piece of the Scion by defeating Pierre in the Tomb of Khamoon. And today's episode, we're going to be starting off this brand new location by checking out a really cool secret that I'm fairly certain some people don't know about. Hopefully, maybe. I'd like to be useful for once. You can see like a really cool city in this area. Might be a little bit hard to see, I apologize for that, but yeah, this area is really neat. I don't know what this looks like in the non-Wii versions of the game because I know you have to turn on the flashlight in this room. I'm not entirely sure what it's like in the non-Wii versions, but what we'll be doing is we'll be collecting our first reward. Yeah, we're not even like a minute into the video. Well, we might be a minute into the video, but you know what I mean. We're not very far into the level, and we're already collecting our first reward. And this level, if I remember correctly, has the highest count of rubbing rewards in the entire game. I'm gonna double check this real quick while I do this. This is taking a long time. Oh my god, this is taking a long time. Oh. Yeah, while I was doing that, I was looking over my notes to see if I was correct, and I was. This level contains 5 rubbing rewards, and we're going to be collecting every single one of them. Hoorah! And just like we've been doing throughout this entire Let's Play, I'm going to be demonstrating some visual differences between what this area was like in the original game and in this game. Starting off with what the cutscene was like in the original Tomb Raider game from the cutscene that we saw in the previous level thingy. Alright, so keep in mind that I'm not going to be demonstrating the entire cutscene, but I will say that I personally preferred what the cutscene with the Atlantis gods was like in the original game. You see it on screen right now, but I just personally preferred that one. I thought those characters sounded better when they had no dialogue. It's just my personal opinion, and I also liked the transition between areas a lot more. It was a lot more smooth in the original game. And I just personally liked it a lot more than what they did in this game, because there's like 2 loading screens for that cutscene, like a 5-second cutscene. And speaking of that cutscene, I normally have the loading screen be the thing that I use for end screens in this Let's Play. I am not a fan of the loading screen they have in this part of the game. I'm sorry, but it's just bland looking. It's not really all that exciting. I mean, he's on a motorcycle and all, but it just looks weird, and I think that what I'm going to be using at the end of these videos would have been a much more better looking load screen, which we'll be seeing when we get to that point. Or you can just skip ahead at the end of the video right now and see for yourself, because you have that privilege, and I don't when I'm recording these videos. Alright. And also, one thing I'd like to mention right now is that this level will probably be split into 2 videos, so I'm not entirely sure when will be a good stopping point for the first part. I'll probably figure it out along the way. Maybe, hopefully. And this right here, this is a brand new trap. We go up here, and we have to jump super quickly, otherwise the thing will go all the way down, and we will not be able to reach the ledge. So you want to be careful about that. I don't think there's anything down here, but I just feel like double checking anyway, just because I feel like it. And also, one thing I'd like to say right now is this is the first video on my channel where I'm using a bit of a different structure when it comes to actually recording. What I mean by that is, I usually have my Let's Play notes displayed on my computer, but I'm not doing that for this Let's Play. Instead, I'm having my Let's Play notes displayed on my phone because I have a super handy dandy new feature. Yay! I've been using Microsoft OneNote for my Let's Play notes for the past couple months, and I've just recently figured out how to have that display on my phone. So yay, it's gonna be more convenient. And Adrenaline Headshot to destroy the Black Panther. He only had 1 movie, unfortunately. I really want to go see that. I haven't seen that movie yet and heard it's amazing. And it looks really, really good. Like, I was a big fan of the Black Panther comics. Like, okay, that's what we wrote then. I was a big fan of the character. I didn't really read the comics a whole lot, but I loved the Black Panther character. And it was always one of those things where I was all like, why doesn't he have a movie yet? But then he does have a movie, and it's awesome, hopefully. I don't know, my opinions on things seem to be a bit backwards than everybody else's, so I might end up going to go see it and hate every single moment of it. I don't know. At least that's what it seemed like when Last Jedi came out, because I loved that movie, and it seems like a lot of the Star Wars fans hated it. I have no idea why. Alrighty then, so now that we got that one, I believe there's a couple more things we can grab up here. We're not going to get another reward for a few more minutes, but there is a piece of supply that I want to go grab up here, because it's going to be pretty useful. Maybe, hopefully, kind of. Alright, so let's go over here, and... Oh! It's a health pack! We can use that to restore our HP! Boy. Do we take damage if we swan dive up here? We do! That was a bad idea. Let's do it again! Except we can't because of the cutscene. Cat fight! Quite literally because we're cats. Nunchuck. Nunchuck. Okay, there we go. My nunchuck died for a moment, I was like, oh god, what's going on? So yeah. Alright, so yeah, these are some new enemies. These are cat mummies, and they are so cool! And they hurt my waifu! How could you, you monsters! Alright, so... these are really, really cool enemies, and I absolutely love their design. They just look so awesome. And if you want to know something funny, this is what they look like in the original game. I don't have a picture on screen right here, but they just look so funny in the original game. But they updated their designs in the remake, and I absolutely love how they look in this game. They're just so awesome looking. I love them so much. I'm sorry, I just love those guys. Even if they can be a bit of a nuisance to deal with, especially on higher difficulty levels. Okay, there was a detail in this area that I wanted to demonstrate. Up, right there. It's a catfish. And it's adorable. And also kind of has weird textures on it. Wow. Okay, so enough about that, because we're going to be going over here. We have a couple more things we can go do real quick. And I gotta say, this entire part of the game, the Egypt part of Tomb Raider Anniversary, I think this may be my favorite location out of the ones we've seen so far. Because, at least from what I can remember, okay, let me start over. I'm talking about the original game, I'm not talking about this game. In the original game, I think Egypt was my favorite out of all the locations that I can remember off the top of my head. Because I really, really loved the level design of it all. I liked Greece and all. And I will stand by what I said in the previous episode, where I liked how the levels were all blue and green to help you tell where you can raise the water level or not. But at the same time, all of those levels also started to kind of blend in after a while. Greece was by far the largest location in the original Tomb Raider game because they had 5 levels in that location. But I think Egypt was a particularly beautiful part of the game because even if it was a desert area, they found a way to make it interesting. And if you guys know if you've been watching me for a long time, you know how I feel about desert levels and how I don't particularly care for them most of the time. But they made each level in the Egypt part of this game just so interesting and unique, and I really like it. And for the most part, that also applies with Anniversary. I have a couple problems here and there, which we'll be getting into as the Let's Play goes on. But I still really like this game. First artifact of the location is over here, and as you can see, it looks like a stone slab thingy. I'm not entirely sure what it's supposed to be. And that's a skeleton right there. That is nasty. Alright. If the design of the artifacts were supposed to resemble like something else, like something super amazing in Egyptian mythology, I greatly apologize if I like offended all 5 of you out there who watched this. So, yeah, I apologize about that. But, if you look up here, and this is just such a pretty game! And look at all the seagulls! Master Yoda would be proud. Awesome points if we get the reference. So, we can wall run over here, and it's super amazing because this gameplay mechanic is awesome! I love wall running, it's awesome. Although I do have a bit of a problem with this area. If you take out your guns at any point, right here, it's automatically going to lock onto that target way off in the distance. It's very weird. But enough weird stuff, because we're going to be going over here. Ooh, it's a spooky rectangular thingy. And as you can see, the designs of the puzzle pieces, they look different, and I like it. I will say this right now: I'm not the biggest expert on Egyptian mythology. Like I'm more knowledgeable about Greek mythology than I am Egyptian mythology, so I'm not gonna be able to like really talk about a whole lot of interesting facts that this game has about that kind of stuff. Like how I was able to tell you guys about the Hephaestus and Poseidon rooms in St. Francis Folly, and like the accuracy of that and all that good stuff. So I do like Egyptian mythology from what I've read about the subject, but it's something that I haven't really put a whole lot of time into. Like I'm sure if I were to go study it more, like if I had the more free time to go look it up on my own time, then I'd probably like it more. I'm not saying that I don't like Egyptian mythology. I love studying mythology. And that's probably have a counter for every time I say mythology in that sentence. Alrighty then, we have some panthers over here. It's Black Panther 2. Ooh, adrenaline headshot. Lara Croft is more powerful than Black Panther. Even though these panthers kind of look more purple than black. Excuse me? I totally did the adrenaline headshot correctly. Well, tell me I didn't do the adrenaline headshot. Stop it. Are you? Come on, face me like a man. Face me like a manly man. Aha. We triumphed over the pandas. Okay, so my notes for this particular room are a little vague. It says that there's a rubbing reward in this room on the opposite side of where the entrance is. And I'll be honest, I don't exactly remember what I meant by that when I wrote those notes. So, yeah, usually when I write my notes, I like to try to keep it as simple as possible. By, like, I'm not entirely sure that's the best word to describe it, but basically my mindset when I write my notes is I'll figure it out when I go record the video. For the most part, that works, but other times it doesn't. Okay, let's activate the switch. The Egyptians had amazing technology. Like seriously, how does the switch activate these things? I don't understand that. Okay, I'm gonna switch over to my whatever these weapons are called, and wow, they're comboing me. I don't like this. Stop it! Stop hurting my waifu! Stop it! Save the waifu! That was cool. Come on. Yeah, we did it. And I'm going to use a large meta pack because that's probably a good idea. And switch over to my regular dual pistols because I don't want to waste ammunition that we can't easily refill or something. I don't know. Is there anything in this room? No, there isn't. Alright, so I'm going to look around for a moment and I'm probably going to like jump cut until I remember where that other rubbing reward is. Okay, I was thinking about it a little bit more, and I think what I meant by that, it's not going to be something we can handle for a little bit, so we're just going to continue on our merry way through our path of glory. I gotta be quick about this because, obviously, as you saw a moment ago, these platforms will eventually go back into the walls, so that's not very nice. So just jump across here, and fun story, I remember when I was a kid and played this game for the first time, I struggled with this part of the room. Not the entire room itself, just the part with the retracting ledges. Because my computer had such a bad lag problem, it was really hard to do the timing on those jumps, and it was not a very pleasant experience at all. Also, playing this game with the keyboard wasn't the best experience. I know some people out there probably like playing with the keyboard, but I'm not one of those people. Unless it's Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, in which case it's perfect. I'm an idiot. Okay, so whatever exactly my notes was, the rubbing reward is in the retracting room with the opposite of the intro. What the heck are those rats over there doing? They're like standing there. Oh, they're coming for me now. They realized that I murdered their buddy. I was like saying, they were like French kissing or whatever while their buddy was getting murdered. Oh boy. Alrighty then, so let's go over here. And I just got a message from James about something we're doing for a game. I probably can't talk about that quite yet, but yeah, it's something interesting. Alright then, so let's move the box around. because that's what we do, and thankfully the box pushing mechanics are much less irritating in this game than they are in the original game. I've already complained enough about what the box pushing puzzles were like in the original game, so I don't need to do that anymore. Hoorah! Except when I go to record the footage for the original game, in which case I'll have to complain even more. Okay, so I want to see if there's anything down here, just in case. Yep, there is. There are supplies that we can't pick up because we don't use the shotgun. The shotgun is a great weapon in this game, I will say that, but it's just not something that I really like using all that often because you have to be like super up close to the enemy for it to work effectively, and I'd honestly rather be able to attack them from a distance. I kind of feel the same way about Splatoon, like how I like attacking my fellow Inklings with a bucket so that I can go over walls and stuff like that. And we have my brother in! Yay! We have my brother in! Even though these are actually crocodiles and not alligators. Aren't alligators the ones that live in the Western Hemisphere? Or whatever? I don't know. I think it's crocodiles who live in the eastern part of the world. I may be wrong about that. I don't know. If I am, I put a caption on screen here. It's a very fascinating caption indeed, unless there's no caption on screen, in which case I look like an idiot. Alrighty then. So I believe there's something in here that we can get right now. So what we want to do is jump down here. So let's go down here, and oh, there's a lever down here. It's the successor to the Nintendo Switch, Nintendo lever. And that was a great camera angle. Not that I'm complaining. Again, I still have a counter for everything I say. That'd require too much work though. Alright, so now we're inside of the retracting ledge room thingy, and I love the wall design here. Like, I just want to take a moment to appreciate it because, wow, that just looks so pretty. This is such a pretty game. It's enough to make a grown man cry. This game is pretty! Alrighty then. So we want to do up. I think I remember. No, it's a little bit higher up. Okay, I was thinking about the rubbing reward, and I remembered that this is the room that I was supposed to be in. But then I remembered, oh wait, derp, it's a little further into the level. I have to go through effort to go through all of this. So you gotta be quick about that. Excuse me. Excuse me, platform. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are to get away from me and destroy my chances of fulfilling my destiny of doing stuff? Okay, I think I might be doing this wrong. There we go. Okie dokie. I was doing that wrong. I'm doing it wrong. So we go over here, and oh, the rubbing reward I've been searching for my whole life. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's so very dirty, which is why I have to clean it up. Right at it. Okay. I just love doing that. Don't judge me. So we go over here and jump across the beetle platform. Okay, these beetles, there's probably what they're probably based off the same inspiration, and I'm pretty sure they both are because both of these things I'm talking about come from Egypt. But these beetles, I always think of the Mummy movie with Brendan Fraser whenever I see those beetle platforms. It's really funny. Did I say his name right? Oh god, I hope it did. So, why do I keep falling off that platform? I'm not pressing the down button. What the heck? My controller's acting kind of weird today. First the nunchuck thing earlier, and now this. Like, what the heck? Okay. What? I didn't do anything! Come on! Is it? Yeah, what the heck? Okay, stay on the platform, stay on the platform, stay on the platform, jump, 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 jump. Okay. Whew, I don't know what was going on with my nunchuck right there. Okay, this right here is honestly kind of silly. we could go into the rubbing reward puzzle right here, but the solution is right there. Like, we could just go in here right now. It's like the sails, eyeball, and scarab thingy. That's probably not what they're supposed to be, but again, I'm not as familiar with Egyptian mythology as I am with regular Greek mythology. I'm very bad at speaking right now. Yeah, like, why do you even have the thing right there? Like, I don't know. It's a little weird. I love this game and all, and I love what the stuff they did include in the Wii version of the game, but things like that are a little bit weird. And the weird thing is, that's not the only time we're going to be seeing that throughout this part of the game, because they're going to have the solution to those puzzles, like, right near the puzzle. It's honestly very strange. People thought Zip and Alistair held your hand through Tomb Raider Legend. Clearly didn't apply the Wii version of Tomb Raider Anniversary when it came to those puzzles. Alright, so we want to move the block around. Hey, we're moving around the block. I'm stupid. Okay, we're totally doing this in the first try. Let's do this. No fancy editing. Yay. Come on, come on, come on. What the? Okay. Yay. Alright, let's jump across the beetles again. And I gotta be honest, those beetles that I was talking about earlier in Tomb Raider, in the Mummy movies, I'm a little surprised they didn't do anything with that in the Tomb Raider games. Because Laura's been to Egypt plenty of times throughout the Tomb Raider series, and I don't think I've ever seen a beetle type of enemy in any of these games. Like, I haven't played Tomb Raider The Last Revelation, and that's the game that takes place entirely in Egypt, so maybe that one? I don't know. Anybody in the comments have played Tomb Raider The Last Revelation? Can you tell me if there were beetle enemies in that game? I don't remember off the top of my head. There probably aren't, but yeah. Anything over here? No, there isn't. How very disappointing. Alright, so let's jump across this platform. My recording session says right now that we're almost at 30 minutes. It's probably going to be a little bit shorter because of editing and all. Again, I'm not entirely sure when would be a good point to end off this video. Maybe somewhere around this point, I don't know. I might not even do like a proper outro or anything like that. I might just like suddenly end the video.